You ready? Okay. Hi, everybody. We are the DISCRIMINATIon podcast. My name is Sherry.
My name is Priya.
And today we're going to be talking about racism and discrimination.
Yeah.
That's a heavy topic.
Yeah, definitely.
That's going to be very interesting. Very, very interesting. Have you ever experienced racism?
Of course.
In the Netherlands?
I don't know if it's racism per se, but I've had comments here and there, which I'm like,
Sus.
Yeah, sus. Because I had a time where I first moved to the Netherlands and, because for my studies, and I had to work part-time to,
Yeah.
pay for rent and things like that. And I remember at that time, I was the only POC at
Person
the
of color.
workplace. And I just remember I would get very strange comments from the people,
Yeah.
because I worked in retail. I would get comments like just strange comments, but then I would ask my colleague who wasn't a person of color, and I'm like, did you also experience this? And she was like, no, like they were quite nice with me. So I'm like, but we give the same treatment, so why am I being treated differently?
Do you think it is because you speak English?
But
And
she also spoke English.
Oh.
So we both couldn't speak the language, but now I can. So please, don't come for me. I can speak it. But then back then I couldn't, and we both couldn't.
Yeah.
But then she didn't get the same attitude
That you did.
Yeah. And at one point I actually cried because
Really?
yeah, because well, back then I was really shy and really timid, and I was just like, I just moved to a new country, and I didn't know anyone, so I was new and a bit not insecure per se, but just
Maybe like homesick or something?
just anxious. Yeah, anxious. And to have these people who are much, much older than me to make those sort of comments, I just it really hurt me. So
Yeah.
I just cried. But maybe because I didn't have a good day that day. And then luckily at the time my colleague was actually really supportive. He was like, why didn't you call me? I would have said something.
Yeah.
Like these people, they just think they're so entitled that they can say everything and anything, but no.
Yeah.
He's like, you should have called me. And I was like, yeah, whatever, it's okay.
It happened, yeah.
But now if these things were to happen, I would definitely would have said something. I'll be like, I'm trying to help you. And if you don't want my help, then you can go. But now, maybe because I speak the language, I don't get that same treatment anymore.
Yeah, because you can just answer in Dutch
Yeah.
at any time.
But then
Yeah.
my colleagues who are not a POC,
Yeah.
and I did have an incident where a customer was they refused to talk to her because she didn't speak the language.
Yeah.
But then I stepped in to help because I remember how it felt to be in that situation.
Yeah.
So she really appreciated. So I don't know if it's to do with racism
Yeah.
or discrimination. I don't know. Is it discrimination?
I think it's discrimination, not per se. I think,
Yeah.
because
that I
race
don't
is
know.
definitely about the race. Discrimination can be like your sexuality. Your,
Yeah.
You being feminine, your gender, you know?
Yeah. But they
So
were,
that's that.
yeah, but they were just really mean to her because she didn't speak the language. But I understand it. Of course, you're living in a country and you don't speak the language. Yes, I get it. But I came from Thailand. We have a lot of internationals there. Still to this day, you have a lot of people who live in Thailand who are not Thai. We have never made those kinds of comments.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many foreigners here, living in our country. Why don't they speak Thai? No, we don't say any of that because we're just we just mind our own business.
Yeah.
And it doesn't bother us. We still can communicate to each other. And it's not like we don't speak English. We do a little bit. How some people here don't speak English very well. It's the same level as some people in Thailand, right? But they don't really make those kinds of remarks. So to me, it's quite interesting.
Do you think it's entitlement?
Could be. And in my opinion, I think there's a lot of that here.
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
a
I can
lot.
see that. Yeah. Was it like hard for you? Because obviously you're with a Dutch person. Was that hard for you to deal with his family and stuff? Or did you have to adapt? Is that why you learned the language?
No, it wasn't hard because they're super open-minded and very welcoming.
Yeah.
So with them, no, it wasn't hard at all. But I learned the language because I just thought it's nice to learn another language, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Um,
And it just shows that not every Dutch person is like that, or every
no,
person.
not at all. No, no.
No.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. I
But
feel bad for you that you went through that.
yeah, because
At
I
work.
remember I used to like tell you all the time, like, why are people like this? Like, I'm so
Yeah.
shocked.
Why are people so mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the people that can't. And even till this day, like I feel like people that speak English have such a hard time finding a job here.
Yes.
Even though it's like most of them are students.
Yeah. And
They are being welcomed by the Netherlands to study here, and then
Thank
they
you.
get shit for being here and not knowing the language,
yeah.
which is so. And then they don't get the same opportunities because they can't. Obviously, they can't find the job.
yeah.
So that's. I think that's sad. In a
Yeah,
way.
it's-
They should like open that up more. They
Right?
should like investigate that more.
But I've had like so many incidences where a lot of people think I don't understand and I don't speak it,
Yeah.
but I just say nothing.
You say nothing?
I say nothing and I just let them speak.
Yeah.
And then I respond like, hey, I can understand you. I can speak to you in Dutch if you
I
want
speak
me
Dutch,
to.
by the way.
And then they just stop. They're like, oh, sorry. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. Because your big mouth. You wanted to run your big mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I don't
that's
know
hard.
why. Why do people feel the need to give their opinion when it's not needed or when it's not asked? Like,
Entitlement.
yeah,
They feel like they can't, or they feel superior.
so strange.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I think the only moment, I don't think I've experienced a lot of racism, mainly because either I am oblivious or yeah, I just did it, and I do speak the language. So for me it was easy, going through life. I think the very very first time I experienced racism was when I was doing my internship here in the Netherlands. And me and this girl applied at the same time. We both got the job at the hotel. I'm not gonna say which hotel it was because I don't want to get, Anyway, so we both started at the same day. We basically had to do the same stuff for school, so we both had the same assignments and blah blah blah. And I only got the shitty jobs, and she got to check in people. She was always behind the desk. Yeah, and I was always the one cleaning and gardening.
Was she POC?
No.
Huh.
Exactly. She was, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I was the only POC out of the two. So that was, yeah, school was not happy when they found out that I never did any of my assignments. They just checked it off as if I did, but I never really did.
Wow.
I was always in the garden, taking care of the garden, or they made me clean, or they made me clean the rooms. Yeah. That was the very first time because I was like, why does she get a chance and I
Yeah.
don't? Where we started at the same time. We're doing the same
Yeah.
study. We're on the same level, but you're making me do stuff that's basically someone else can do it. You can hire a gardener to do that. Why am I the one doing it? Because exactly.
I'm shocked.
That was the very first time I dealt, because I categorize that as racism, to be honest. To that one, I was like, okay, but there's no other reason for me to be same age, same study,
Yeah.
same level, and I'm the one that gets to do the shitty jobs, but she gets to do what she came for. So she gets to check in people, talk to them, call them, whatever. She got to do all the good stuff.
And you did it.
I didn't.
Did you ever ask them why?
No.
But if you could go back to that time.
I would beat her ass. I would beat the manager's ass so fast. I don't care if I would get arrested or something. Honestly, that was such a shit move. And back in the day, I was 17.
Wow.
I was 17. So like for me, that was
A while ago.
yeah.
A while ago. Let's
you.
put it that way.
Thank you. Anyway, yeah. I think that was the very first time it hit me that I was actually different.
Damn.
Yeah, and I was being treated different. And the second time for me was actually at my job back then. It was not this job, it was the one before. So I used to work in retail for a big company. And as you know, when you walk into retail, a lot of managers want you to be like, hey, how can I help you? You know, like when you enter, like if I walk into a store, leave me alone.
Leave me alone. And if I need your help, I will call you. But
Exactly.
do not come
Exactly.
and jump on my back and be like, we have 10% offer. Leave me alone.
That's exactly what they want in retail. So I used to work retail for a very long time. And I remember I wasn't manager or assistant manager, but I knew my stuff, you know, like I knew what was where, how the procedures were, how everything went down and what they had to do. And this man walks in and I'm the one in charge on the floor. And he walks to me and he's like, hey, I have a question about a repair because I want to like hand in my phone and see how much it would cost and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I can help you with that. And he's like, are you sure you can?
Huh?
Keep in mind, I'm the senior salesperson at that moment in the store. So I know the most.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I do. But if you prefer someone else help you, go ahead.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, that young boy can help me, right? I'm like, yeah, of course. Go ahead. He was the newest guy. He had no fucking idea what was coming. What? He didn't know anything. But just because he thought it was a man, he would know more about like the technical stuff, about repairs and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
This, like I said, the other guy he went to was a newbie. So he had no idea about any of the procedures, what he had to look up on the computer, what he had to do. He didn't know anything.
What?
So the guy was asking him questions and every answer was, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Let me get my colleague. And he had to come get me to help him. And my first question was, and did he help you? Because he just assumed the man would know more than the woman in that situation.
Wow.
Which was a crazy, crazy situation to me. And I still enjoy that moment.
Yeah.
Where I got to be like, so did that work out for you or no?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Wow.
That was one of the craziest moments I've had at work back then. I don't think, I mean, working at that store, obviously, like it was a pretty technical store. So you ran into a lot of those moments, but that was by far like the peak for me.
Wow.
Yeah. And he wasn't POC, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like this is something like you have to experience it to understand it.
Yeah.
And I had an incident where I still remember to this day like it was yesterday. And this was when I was still living in the UK. I think at the time I was probably 13 or 14 years old. Mm-hmm. And I think it was on a weekend. I went to McDonald's with my friends.
Yeah.
And they weren't POC. So I was the only POC in the group, in the friend group. We went to McDonald's and we were ordering food and we were looking for a place to sit. And I think, how many of us were there? I can't remember, but we needed to find a seat. We needed to sit down.
Yeah.
And as we were about to sit down, this woman out of nowhere came, grabbed my chair. She pulled it out from me. She was like, you don't deserve to sit in this chair.
That's crazy.
And I was like, well, it took me like a few seconds to process what she just said. I was like, pardon? She's like, you don't deserve to sit in this chair. And my friends were looking at her like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
And then I was looking at my friend like, oh, like, what do I do?
Yeah.
And he was like, this woman is crazy. Clearly there's something wrong with her. And I was like, she was like, yeah, you don't deserve in this chair. And my friend was like, why not? And she was like, well, look at her.
Oh, shit.
I was like, and then in that moment I was like, well, what's wrong with me?
You were so young.
Yeah, like, so what's wrong with me? I'm just a teenager, like trying to have McDonald's. And then I think my friend, like, luckily they did defend me in that moment. They were like, they just grabbed the chair out of her and were like, well, she can sit on this fucking chair if she wants to.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, that is crazy.
It was so strange.
That is so crazy. It sucks that you have to go through that when you're so young. I think at some point you realize that you are different from the
Yeah.
non-POC. Let me
Like-
say it that way.
Yeah. And I remember growing up, my mom used to tell me, like, do they treat you differently because of, like, your different race or something? And I was like, I didn't understand what she was talking about.
Yeah.
I just was like, huh? Like, what is this? And when I experienced that moment, I was like, oh, wow, yeah, it all makes sense now. Like, I understand what she's talking about.
Yeah.
And also in school, I also had a strange situation where I was treated differently because I was like the minority there, let's say.
The Asian.
The Asian, yeah. And I mean,
Was this in high school?
I wasn't good at maths.
Yeah.
So I think they just expected me to be good.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I took part in that stereotype. I always thought she'd be good at math
I'm not.
until I asked her like to divide 18 by 2.
Shut up.
I did, and you were like, I don't know. What is it then?
Let's not talk about that. I have this calculator, you guys. Like, people don't understand this. I'm not making it up. I cannot do mental maths.
No?
No. But when it comes with words and letters, I'm very fast.
Yeah. No, because I remember like the first time I really thought you were going to be good at math. So like, I think we also partake in that stereotype.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. Like, I don't want to do it, but if it just, yeah. I think it's like,
society.
I don't want to say built into us. Maybe, yeah. Because obviously we also see it on TV.
Yeah.
It's always the Asian kid that's the smart one. You're not the strong one.
No, now that you mention this, have you seen that episode from Family Guy
Which one?
where this lady's driving?
What happened?
You can look that up yourself. But it's quite a funny episode.
Oh my god! I remember even during driving lessons, because like basically the stereotype for Asians is that you guys are good at math, you can't drive.
I hate driving.
But you can drive.
I can drive, but I don't like to drive.
I remember like I had one of my driving instructors. We were talking about like there's no way you can fail this because at some point like you have so many lessons that it gets really easy and you're like, yeah, I'm having a great time. I don't get how people just can't drive, you know? And he mentioned this Asian student he had, and I was like, oh. But to be fair, he was Asian himself. So
Okay.
it kind of balanced it out.
Yeah.
He said that she fell asleep behind the wheel.
Oh. Why? She was just tired.
I don't know.
She had a rough day.
No, she had a really rough day. And I was like, oh shit, maybe they really can't drive. But he put that in my head. And I don't know. I guess because I've never really had, obviously you have to be friends with people from the culture to get to know the culture.
Yeah.
Nowadays I always correct my mom. My mom always says every Asian person is Chinese. I'm like, no, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
Because now I have Asian friends.
Yeah,
You know,
you do.
like you learn the culture, you become friends with them, you see they have their own personality and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And you realize the judgment was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like for a lot of people, it is like that. So for people that are not POC, make some POC friends. Like get to know people, like get to know their culture, get to know their food, even though maybe you're not used to their spices or something.
Yeah.
You know? Like try something spicy for once. So for me, that was the moment where I was like, okay, so it was all just a stereotype.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah. I think
Could
people
be.
have to get to know other people. And with people that maybe are racist or the people that you dealt with at work, maybe they don't have POC friends.
It could be, or maybe they've been raised a certain way that their world is so closed.
Yeah.
I feel like people who haven't like traveled the world that much or are not so open to other cultures, it's usually those people that make those kinds of comments because
Yeah.
they're just so ignorant
Mm-hmm.
that they would just raised like that.
Yeah.
Maybe their parents were like that, and then they've been raised that way, and they think it's normal, but then actually it's a little bit not normal.
Yeah. But they don't know that.
They don't know
They
that.
think it's the.
But I don't blame, like, I know some kids, I mean, when I think back to school, like, I had a friend, and she did make some strange remarks. Like, she was saying to me, I think I was getting teased in class, and then someone was like, oh, look at her, like, she's blushing. And you know what she said? She's like, she can't blush because she's black. And I was like, it was like silence. It was just silence. And everyone was like, what?
That is crazy.
Yeah, but then maybe she didn't know any better.
Yeah.
But I think now, let's say if I were to bring her now and then ask her that, I think she would have been like, no, like, I shouldn't have said that, you know. Maybe she didn't know any better, you know.
Yeah. I think because the younger we are, the more we get bullied in school. I think it's just, I don't want to say ignorance, but it's a kid. Kid doesn't know. They don't know. They just copy what they got from their parents.
Yeah, true.
Whatever their parents say, they're like, yeah, okay.
Or what their friends say. Yeah.
Exactly. So, like, I can't blame a kid. I fully believe that now that she's older, she's more mature.
Yeah.
She grew out of that mentality, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But as a grown person, to make racist remarks to this day,
nowadays, 2024, please.
Like, there's got to be something up with you, because come on.
Yeah. It's sad. It's a sad thing.
I'm trying to think what else happened, you know. Oh yes, I have something.
You do.
This is in science class in high school. A lot of shit happened in high school.
Of course, it's high school.
I had a bad experience. My science teacher was saying something about making Asian food.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, but you make nasi, right? And I was like, what the fuck is that? I was like, nasi? And I was, bearing in mind, I was young at the time. I was like 12, 13. And she was like, yeah, but your people, you make nasi. I was like, my people?
Nasi isn't even your culture.
I was like, my people?
What do you mean? What does that mean?
And I think someone pointed out, like, she's not from there. Like, she's not from that region. Like, why would you? Yeah. So, again, like I said, like, for a grown person to make these comments.
I still think it's weird. To this day, like, do you remember when we were in school, there was this teacher. We're not in school anymore, so we can. If you see this, fix yourself.
University.
Yeah, fix yourself, yeah? Get, like, educated.
Anyway,
there was that teacher that was, like, she saw, like, the Asian students and she was like, please don't eat my dog or please don't eat my cat. What the hell is that?
And she said that in front of everyone.
What is that?
I was shocked. It was like an intro day, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like an intro day because, like, I think she was at the school. They offered Dutch classes, so you could sign up. You had to buy the book, and she was the Dutch teacher. Yeah, and the very first day they went in, she like got to know everyone, which makes sense. But then she got to the Asian kids, and that comment will never leave me.
No, because I was there.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
what?
People were texting. I wasn't even in that class. People were texting me like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And no one, I don't think anyone reported her.
I think we were all shocked. Everyone was just like, what just happened?
That was crazy. Someone should have said something. Took it higher up.
I think they would just laugh like nervously, like,
get that bitch fired. I don't know.
Yeah, like.
That was crazy. I think that was like also a moment that I was like, damn, that was crazy. And I think for Asian people, like, Corona was also rough.
Yes,
when Corona hit.
An old colleague of mine experienced it, and she was on a train. Bearing in mind, she's South Korean.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was on a train with her 2 kids, and this man was like, "Don't sit next to me," and she was like, "Huh?" But then he was making comments towards her kids, and that's when she was like, "Don't you dare." Yeah. Like, you can come for me, but don't come for my kids.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's when she stepped in. She was like, what are you doing? Like, what you're saying, like, you're trying to teach my kids like you're trying to what did she say? I can't remember what she said, but she was saying something, you're giving false information to my kids. Don't talk to my kids.
Yeah.
And then he was getting like, oh, it was just a joke, I'm just trying to make a joke. And she was like, well, it's not funny.
Yeah.
And this was a grown-ass man.
I will never understand.
And I asked her, was he POC by any chance? And guess what? She said, no.
I know we're talking about POC, but like the non-POC, but like the POCs can also be kind of racist.
Of course.
That's still a thing.
It is.
It's crazy. In a way, I'm like, why can't everybody leave each other alone?
Exactly.
Don't talk to the person of color. Don't talk to the person of that doesn't have color.
Yeah, like why does it matter? We're all equal. We're all the same. We're human beings. Doesn't matter if you're black or white.
Everyone's living their own life.
Yeah.
Like you're the main character in your own story. You don't have to partake in anyone else's story. You don't have to be there.
Yeah. But that's also racism, like within our community, you know. Like, yeah, in POC also.
Of course.
And there's also POC towards non-POCs.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's everywhere, I think.
I don't think they see that as racism, though.
Yeah, yeah. But
I think it's more like discrimination, and I don't know.
Yeah,
that's a complicated one that I'm like.
Yeah, true.
Like I know, like within the community itself, yes, but from color to non-colored, it's always like a question mark for me. It's always like where do we draw the line? When does it become racism? Because
I think when you start treating them different because of how they look. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, my mom used to warn me all the time. She was like, yeah, don't, just because I was raised POC. Like actually all my friends were POC. The only white guy was still a white guy from Aruba, so he was still speaking Papiamento. So he was still considered one of us, you know, like he was still like that guy. It was weird for me to step outside of the world and just experience either racism or discrimination in that way. And my mom always used to warn me, and I was like, Mom, there's no way. There's no way. We live in 2020 something. There's no way. And even when was okay, this was Sunday, I think. Yes, last Sunday. I was walking to this festival with one of my friends, and my friend is Asian. And some boys passed us. They were catcalling us, and we didn't respond because I was like, I'm not going to interact with these children because catcalling, don't even get me started on catcalling. And because they didn't get the response, they actually mocked her in like an Asian way. I don't want to repeat what they said. You know, it was like a comment that I was like, why? Just because we don't want to be bothered, you start making fun of her, like where she's from. Like it makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. Just because we hurt your ego or something. Yeah, please. But that was, what day is it now? Thursday. No, it's Wednesday. That was 3 days ago. Wow. That was 3 days ago. And y'all think it's okay. I don't understand. I don't understand.
They think it's funny or something, or maybe they were trying to impress each other.
Yeah, it was friends. A group of boys. Yeah, I think they were trying to impress each other. But with something that is not funny, that's, I don't know. I think, yeah.
But I think it's to do with the way that they were raised. I think if you were educated enough, you wouldn't make those comments. Yeah. Like, if my kid did that, I'll be like, I will drag you by the neck. Like, don't you ever make those remarks about someone who looks different or who is not the same. Like, everyone is equal. You need to treat everyone equally. Doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, just be nice. You don't know what someone's going through.
It doesn't matter where they're from or what they look like.
Yes.
Unless they insult you for no reason, then you just pound. Then we go.
Sometimes violence is the answer.
Sometimes it is. Not always, but sometimes. Especially if you're our kid, then it is the answer.
But no, I that's something I cannot stand. Like people making inappropriate comments to other people. Doesn't matter. Like making comments about their appearance, their race, how they look, you know. Just,
do you think it's a lot better than it used to be, like 90s? If we go back, do you think it's a lot better?
I don't know. I don't know, because I feel like, because when I was so young, I was so oblivious, and I was just focusing on like having fun. So I never really noticed anything. But during my teenage years, yeah, I was like,
do you think teenagers are better now?
I can't
It's kind
say.
of it's kind of a question mark to me too.
Yeah.
Like, are we going forward, or are we stuck in something?
I think it'll be something that will always be around, because of how they were. It's like a vicious cycle. Like, it's not gonna. It might end, but it will take a lot of time.
Yeah, I think there's definitely progress compared to back in the day. But yeah, there's always room for progress.
Oh, for sure.
Like, there's still stuff we need to work out. And I think for me personally, I think when COVID happened, that was a moment that I was like, oh shit, it is still like so alive. It's still present. It's still, for example, that there was a woman in America, I don't know which state it was, but she got beat up because this guy blamed her for COVID.
Oh my God.
And she was an older lady.
That's so sad.
Yeah, she was an older lady. She had nothing to do with this. Like,
no, she's
why?
probably just minding her own business, and then she gets jumped.
Exactly.
Like,
And she got, I'm not even, I know she got hurt for sure, but I'm not sure if she died.
Oh my God, that's so sad.
That was so sad. That was a moment for me. Like, even like the George Floyd thing, that wasn't that long ago.
No.
So it's still here.
Yeah.
We're still dealing with that shit
For sure.
nowadays. So that's why I'm like, is there progress? Or are we just pretending it's not there?
That could be.
I
But
don't know.
also, when it comes to people's sexuality, like, why does it matter?
I think there's progress there, though. I think,
Well, that better be.
I think in regards to that, there's a lot of progress, but there's still like,
People still get hate crime for being gay or
people
whatever
still,
they want to be. Like,
people still get beat up, and
Yeah.
even in London, in the UK,
Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah, people just get beat up
Like
for being gay.
well, an old friend of mine, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
He used to get comments all the time about his appearance.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Dutch, you know, like, oh, you're gay.
Yeah, they like throwing that out.
But
They like throwing that out.
most of the time, they are gay themselves. It is true. They're just so closeted that it's like
maybe.
it's like they want to get it out and they can't, so they have to take it out
On someone else.
on someone that who's
Yeah.
gay,
Yeah.
on someone that they cannot be because of whatever reason.
Mm-hmm. I remember last year, was it last year or the year before? I don't remember. There was like Pride Month, of course, in the Netherlands. And I remember like drag queens were getting hit by cars.
What?
Yeah. Because people would see them and be like, I'm going to hit you in my car. Like, it was nonsense. It's like, why can't we let people be whoever they want to be?
Exactly.
What does it matter to you?
Yeah, they're not harming you in any way. They're just minding their business, and then you want to go and ruin and fuck up that day because you are hating on them.
Yeah.
To me, this is crazy. I literally just want to beat people up.
This is one of the crazy subjects that I will never understand it.
Yeah,
it's something that I'm also so bummed that Giandro isn't here right now, because I really loved his point of view on this. But yeah, it's something that I hope it gets better in time. I really do.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Because why should it matter?
What? You tell me.
People can be whatever. They can be a furry.
Oh yeah, but those are funny.
Yeah, but I'm just like, okay, at least they're having fun and they're enjoying themselves and not hurting and harming anyone.
They're happy.
So let
they're
them be.
happy, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, let
If
them
they're
be.
happy like that, great for you. I don't like, if I were to be someone that's bothered by that, actually I cannot imagine that.
But then that's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Then why are you so bothered by someone that's trying to be themselves?
Why is this something you think about?
Exactly.
Like, why is it something that bothers you? I saw a comment on, oh Jesus, I saw a comment on TikTok of this girl that told her mom that not every girl wants to be a princess, because she was in martial arts, or she was a sword fighter or something. So she was something. And one comment said, "That's great for her, as long as she doesn't become part of the alphabet."
What?
Yeah. And keep in mind, this girl is like 7. What is wrong with you as an adult man? Because obviously it was a man commenting. What is wrong with you that you have to think about a 7-year-old sexuality? You don't know her.
Exactly.
You don't know her. You're not friends with her. You're not friends with her mom. You're not a relative. Even so, none of your business.
Exactly.
None of your business. That is not your child.
Exactly.
But oh my god.
Yeah,
this
these
pisses
things,
me off so much.
Same. These things gets me so like angry, because I'm just like, why can't you just mind your business and let people be?
Why is it so hard? I will never understand why it's so hard. Why you have to hate on everybody in life. Like, do you not have anything better to do with yours? Is that what's happening right now? Because, yeah. I don't know. And with Pride Month coming, I am always excited for Pride Month. Always. But I'm also scared.
I want to bring up something.
What?
You know that thing that happened at university?
Which one?
Now we're talking about Pride Month.
No. You have to
I
refresh
don't
my
know
memory.
what holiday this is.
Ooh, girl. Girl. Oh, child. She had to remind me. There was this teacher, in school. And keep in mind, every student we know hates her. Because everyone we know hates her.
Yeah,
we graduated. We can talk about this. Anyway, I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to say which institute it is, because obviously they're going to know. Why did I grab my drink?
Because
Put
you're
it back.
thirsty.
Yeah.
I'm going to drink too.
We had to... So basically we did a research paper for a company that was doing drag. So they were hiring drag artists, and they were promoting them. They were, what would they do? They would go to events, and they would, so they would rent them out. That sounds so bad.
Yeah, well, yeah,
So
that's
it's
what
like
they would do.
it's like a talent group that would actually, send their drag queens to events. And this was during COVID, so it was a time where performers couldn't really do anything. Artists couldn't really do anything. DJs, so they were all like looking for solutions, and we had to write a paper. Keep in mind that this is something where we have to present our papers in front of the teachers. We have to present it in front of and the client itself. We met the client during the presentation. Yeah, I think we spoke to them before a little bit. We were talking to them. We were having fun. We were like, hey, by the way, it's Pride Month. Happy Pride Month. What are you guys going to do? Even though it's COVID, like, do we have any plans? Or, and this teacher just barges into the conversation. And she's like, I have no idea what that month is. Why are we talking about this?
No, I remember she was like, I don't know what holiday this is. Happy Christmas. Let's get on with the presentation.
She was such a hater.
I was like, huh?
She was such a hater. And she did that in front of the client. And I think it was directed towards us.
Yeah.
But in front of the client.
Yeah.
That is actually like drag.
Yeah.
Like LGBT
Yes.
pride.
Yes.
Like that was so rude. That was so rude and so unprofessional. And for like an institute that is trying to raise us to be professionals, for this to happen in front of us, and for us, the students, to be the ones to apologize to the client afterwards, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. That's
absolutely ridiculous.
It is.
And the crazy part is she got away with it.
Yeah, and to this day,
she is still there.
Yeah.
She is still there working there.
I don't know how.
Contract, man. Contract.
True.
I bet it's contract. Once you get a contract, they can't just easily fire you.
No.
But yeah, that was... Oh, I completely forgot about that one. I blocked that one out of my head.
Yeah, I still remember.
I hate that bitch. Oh my god, I hate that bitch.
She's just vile.
She's a horrible person. Yeah. But maybe one day we'll tell you more about that. Maybe.
Maybe.
Don't. I'm not making any promises. But yeah, she was horrible. I remember I apologized to the client on behalf of our entire group, our entire team, and everyone that was present. And I filed a complaint to the school.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, what happened, it's not cool.
No.
You're expecting us to be professionals, but you're not even professional enough to just let it be.
Mm-hmm.
And to just be like, okay, guys, let's just get started. Because if she just said that, huge difference.
Exactly.
Huge difference. There was no need to shit on Pride Month or refer to Christmas. There was no reason to do that. And I remember the response I got was, you are never going to get an apology from this woman. You might as well just take it and move on.
Yeah. And I think we were just gobsmacked. We were like, what?
That was the answer we got. That was...
We still have receipts. We have the email still, but
we still
we're not gonna do that.
No, we're not gonna do anything like that.
But,
no.
Yeah.
But that was still a moment where I was like, damn. It's still here. Discrimination. It's still here. But yeah, I do hope it gets better over time. I do think at some point in life, at least I hope, people move on from it. And we just accept each other for who we are, you know?
But I also want to bring...
Oh, shit. Not another one.
No, I think religion plays a role too.
And discrimination. Or racism.
Discrimination.
You think?
Yeah. When
Based
it
off of what?
comes to... Let's say you were raised very religious.
Yeah, like me.
And you are trying to come out.
Ah, like that. Yeah. Oh, I thought you were...
you can't be yourself because due to family circumstances, whatever. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like we hear a lot of... Sometimes I see things like... some posts about drag queens are more dangerous than priests or something.
Girl, we all know that's not true. We all know that's not true. You just don't want your kid to come out gay or your kid to come out of the closet because I swear to God, I feel like people... You're pissing me off. You brought this on yourself. I feel like everybody wants to be a parent because they want a miniature version of themselves.
Yeah,
and that's the most selfish shit I've ever heard in my life. If you have a kid just because you want a mini-me, fuck you. Every kid has a right to be their own person. Yeah? And they're not just going to follow your rules because you say so, because they live in your house. They're their own person. We have left that station. We are the generation that is accepting towards people being themselves. And for you to be a parent but wanting your kid to be this specific way with your demands, please don't be a parent. Please do not cut everything in your body so you won't have kids, because no, there's just no fucking why are you having kids if you're not going to accept them and love them for who they are? Why? Exactly, because you want a mini-me, you dumb bitch. Anyway, this pisses me off so much. Oh man.
But yeah, that's
it's yeah, I think I was also raised religiously. So like for me, you get put like, I remember, you're right. Like we were raised in, it's not okay. It's not okay. You should pray the gay away. Yeah, you should pray it away. And that's why I feel like a lot of people live in this mindset of it's bad and they're going to go to hell and they're going to die. But like, a sin is a sin. That's it. I was raised Christian, yeah? And every sin has the same weight. No sin outweighs the other one. So you cheating on your husband is the same as someone being gay. It's the exact same weight of sin. You know, you gossiping about someone, same thing. You talking shit about someone, same thing. It's the same weight. No sin is better than the other one. So what are you coming for us for?
Yeah, exactly.
It's so stupid.
Because they gay themselves.
I think if you worry too much about the gay thing, you might want to get that checked. Yeah.
Get it checked out.
You might want to, call your therapist, talk about it, and see why that bothers you so much.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But this was a good
This
topic.
was a good topic. I feel like we could go on and on about this, but this was a serious one.
Yeah.
And one that pisses me off.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Just mind your business and let people be and let them live.
That's the moral of the story.
Yeah.
You live your own life. If you don't want those people around you, don't be around them. Don't go looking for them. Don't go commenting on their stuff. Leave them alone, please.
I beg you.
I beg you, please. Anyway, thank you for watching this episode. We were excited. It was very nice for you guys to listen. It was very nice to talk about this topic, honestly. So yeah, follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok. We will be posting this on Spotify on every Monday. Every Monday we'll be on Spotify, so check this one out. Like, comment, let us know what you thought, and yeah, tell us if you've had any racist or discriminating experience. Let us know in the comments. Yeah? All right, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.